Once I had an idea for Armageddon cheesecake. And that's it. That's all I got. There's never enough hours in a day to film a pre-show gag. So, Armageddon cheesecake. Interpret that as you will. Man, I'm burned out. Oh well. Here's Drezen Draws. So yeah, tonight I feel like I'm in a really, really big hurry. But I'm always in a hurry. I've always got stuff to do. I got this project that's on my mind. I got that project that's on my mind. I got a million things on my mind, and I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I can never get anything done. I just have to make sure that this. I don't know. For some reason, Stop. Go away. There we go. So anyways, the Hulk done won the votings. So I'm gonna draw the Hulk. Just make sure of something. Okay, there we go. Also got to make sure that that we have plenty of music, right? Yeah. All right. So I hope everybody is doing fine and dandy tonight. As we switch to draw cam. I am drawing on this fabulous Wacom Cintiq 22 HD. So one of the references that I'm using to draw the big green galoot tonight, actually the reference I'm using, is the cover of The Incredible Hulk number 105, which was drawn by the late, great Marie Severin, who I almost had a chance to meet before she passed away. But I didn't, ultimately. It happens. I mean, it's like the way the voting was going, and I'm surprised how few people actually ended up picking Thanos. You know, you guys let me down. I was hoping to draw Thanos. But vote for whatever you want. Sometimes you just want to get one part of something. Instead of a billion different somethings. And it turns out to be an ordeal. And you're like, come on. I'm liking where this Hulk is going already. It's on one of the test episodes of Drezen Draws. I did draw the Hulk. I don't know where that drawing is, but it's on my computer somewhere. I don't know if that's Hulk enough. That's definitely not Hulk enough. We're gonna start over. Okay, this to me is beginning to look like Hulk. It's actually not the first time that I've restarted a drawing on this show. I've done it before several times. Like I keep forgetting if I said or not. This is the 60th episode of Drezen Draws. 6-0. Back in April, we celebrated, and by we, I mean me, my girlfriend, and my guest co-hosts, Sebastian Bonet and Michael Alexander, better known as Mayhem Mike, or simply Mayhem. If you listen to his podcast, Last Stop on the L, I'd like to make a special shout out to Last Stop on the L. First and foremost, my lone Patreon backer, Onjikun. Thank you for your support as always. Shout out to the Last Stop on the L podcast. You can find it just about anywhere. Message me if you want to know more. Shout out to Sebastian Bonet and In Beyond Studios. In Beyond Con is coming up later this month at Hofstra University on Long Island. Among the bits of craziness that are consuming my life right now is I'm back to working full-time. I've been at the same job for 2 months now, which is a relief, considering that, you know, I've had a few job changes over the past year. Without going too far into details, I work at a place that prints comic books, and it is wonderful. This week has been a little tough because I'm the only one in the printing department, but, you know, they trust me. They're not blaming me for things that go wrong, which I appreciate. But when you work in a shop that does like about 100,000 impressions on paper a month, you know, there's going to be times where the machines are going to go down. There's nothing you can do about it, and you know, I've been learning to repair the machines, which has been interesting, to say the least, because my background is in art and not in engineering. So 9 times out of 10 every single day, I am in a position where I have no idea what I'm doing, and I kind of sort of learn. For those of you who don't know, and many of you might, the Hulk was co-created by the dynamic duo of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. That's not why I was looking at my phone just now. My girlfriend is at a concert tonight, and I'm checking up on her now and again to make sure that she's having fun, and most importantly, that she's safe. It's interesting to note that despite the Hulk's popularity, his initial introduction in comics didn't last very long. He first appeared in The Incredible Hulk #1, dated, I believe it was July of 1962, and it lasted for only 6 issues. Then he would make appearances in Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four before they decided, Marvel, to give him his own book back. I do not like how this is turning out. The left leg. Also, I gotta bring this down a little bit. What up, Doug? How goes it? Doug's been a regular viewer of this series for quite a while now. Ah, there we go. I was about to say, because my mind is racing to get through this drawing, to get through the other projects I'm working on. I publish a weekly comic strip called LuckyZilla, for those of you who don't already know. And it's been running without a break for 200 consecutive weeks as of this Monday. I publish a new strip every single Monday to LuckyZilla.com, which in turn gets shared to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but I kind of have to do it myself to make sure that the images appear as they should. Because different platforms handle images differently, and sometimes the results are mixed. Hi, Kate. So, as of this episode, the 60th in the Drezen Draws series, I have published 200 LuckyZilla strips, and I've drawn, I don't even know how many characters on Drezen Draws. So, yeah. I've also published, as of now, 12 issues of the LuckyZilla comic book, the 13th issue of which will be out September 7th. If you buy a LuckyZilla one-year subscription on LuckyZilla.com, it will be included with it. And I might even give you a special deal to give you some of the issues that you're missing, if you ask real nice. So, for that and more, head to LuckyZilla.com. Oh, we got a lot of people watching. That's good. That makes me happy. I think one of the last times that I had 10 people watching at one time was the 50th episode. It was 10 Drezen Draws ago. How does that work? And I was only going to draw one of these dudes. I only have time for one because at the moment I'm coloring LuckyZilla number 13. And it's been a very long, arduous process to get that issue done. It's been a little problematic at times because I'm reworking elements of the script, making sure that the characters that are portrayed are all in character, and also I've just been burnt out. Otherwise, the story material for LuckyZilla number 13 is pretty good. I think longtime Lucky fans will be pleased with it. It is the first issue of LuckyZilla that was not written by me, or me having anything to do with the writing. The story was conceived entirely by someone else. Which is a pretty big step forward, I'd say. I mean, it's like, I know of some people who write their stuff, and it's like one of the last things that that they would want to do is give their baby over to someone else. And I've had a number of people that I've approached to write a Lucky story be very intimidated by it because they know it's my baby. Well, something is only your baby. It can something that you want to be effective, that's your baby, can only succeed if you try to trust other people with it. You have to try. You have to give somebody a chance, I believe. And so I gave the writer Chris Leonito a chance, and he turned in a pretty good script. I mean, nothing is ever perfect. In the end, a script is just a script. You know, it's, we'll talk. Money is a little tight. I'm glad I was able to pay Chris. I mean, it's like I was commissioning covers out to people until recently, and I sort of ran out of the funds for that. So, hi, Christian. It's been a while since I've seen you on one of these shows. Hope you're doing well. I hope your mom's doing well. I hope Danielle's doing well. And I'm sorry about Poppy. Nobody have eyebrows like Hulk. I can almost imagine Frank Oz voicing Hulk. Hulk smash cookie. Yeah, that would be interesting. Hulk on Sesame Street. The villain in Lucky-Zilla number 13 is Quackery, who has never carried a book story before. So that's pretty exciting. You know, I have a nasty habit of underutilizing who I believe to be the main characters, and it's like sometimes the main characters change the more I develop the material, and I realize, yeah, I kind of don't need this character, so I kind of leave them alone. I let the other characters do most of the work. But I can be very generous with certain roles that I give to certain characters. And Quackery is certainly no exception. He was introduced in the strips in April of 2016, just before the launch of Lucky-Zilla number 1. He's appeared in Lucky-Zilla numbers 4, reprinting his first appearance in the strips, Lucky-Zilla number 10, and the upcoming Lucky-Zilla numbers 13 and 17. See if there's more comments, because Facebook doesn't. Thank you, Mark Andrew. No, you will not write for free. You will get paid and you will like it. At least once I have something that I think we can talk about. But I've got the next year's worth of lucky material planned out. So yeah, but we'll talk. Probably should have done that later on. All these details with the hair and crap. But I did it now. This ain't a Marvel Hulk, this is a Drezen Hulk. I know some people were kind of hating on the depiction of Hulk in Endgame, but I kind of liked it. You know, I mean, it's nice to see kind of a slightly different interpretation of what we're normally used to seeing if it's done well. And I think Mark Ruffalo did a hell of a job as both Bruce Banner and Hulk over the course of the Avengers series. I will admit publicly, because I have no shame, that I have not seen the first two Avengers films. And yet I've seen Infinity War and Endgame, and I love the hell out of both of them. Especially Infinity War. I kind of think of it as the Empire Strikes Back of the series. Because it's very dark. Like, I mean, it goes in directions that you rarely see, rarely saw superhero films go until that film came out. Like, I mean, it's like it took chances, and just so everyone knows, there are going to be spoilers here. But I mean, it's like, killing off, or at least making it look like you're killing the central cast of the last 2-3 films, I mean, that's ballsy. And I like that sort of stuff. I kind of like, when they treat it as kind of like nothing sacred and no holds barred, because it really, ramps things up for deeper story material like we saw in those films, and especially Infinity War. Because, I mean, Thanos is kind of villain that, is everyone's worst nightmare. And it's not even because of how powerful he is to begin with, but, the fact that he is aware of a much greater power, and he knows how to use it. And I mean, it's like he gets so much of the upper hand that it's like, can anyone stop him? And from what it looked like at the end of Infinity War, I mean, it's like he was the victor. Like, I mean, you never see... The villains aren't supposed to win, right? And what the hell? But at the same time, I was just like, wow, this is pretty dope. I do not like the way this leg is looking. Slightly off topic, but anyone here fans of Star Trek: The Next Generation? I was watching it on Netflix before I jumped on here. That's a really well done show. Whether we're talking like in its day or, you know, otherwise. I mean, growing up, I didn't understand it. I was just waiting for it to be over so that I could watch cartoons. Drove my parents nuts. Like, Ma, can you stop watching Star Trek so I can watch Mickey Mouse? Usually by that time it was past my bedtime, so it didn't even matter. Anyone else saying things? I actually had Next Generation starting from the beginning, and those of you who have spent more than a half hour with me in person will probably hear me rant about how I despise origin stories. I want to know what the characters are doing now. I don't care where they came from. If I really want to know, I'm going to go look for myself. But, you know, it's like, if I don't find them interesting at the present, pardon my French, but I don't give a shit. Origin stories themselves are a pain for me to write. It took me a very long time to find the right balance I was looking for when telling Lucky's origin story, which I did finally in Luckyzilla number 7, which was released early last year. And I still have a ton of copies of that if any of you want to pick it up on luckyzilla.com. But no pressure. Just gonna take a quick pause here for some ads. I do birthday parties and corporate events. Reach out to me via Messenger or DrezenMedia.com. There's also a Luckyzilla board game that's available. Luckyzilla the game on luckyzilla.com. Get that too. And now back to the drawing. Yeah, totally, man. It's a lot of fun. And I'm not just saying that because I made it. I mean, it's fun and it's also challenging. Like, I mean, I created a challenge that sometimes I don't even meet. Because I arranged the rules in such a way where it's like, hey, I mean, it's like you cooperate, I mean, things kind of go well, and then they don't, and then things go really bad, and you wonder how you're going to come back from it, and then all of a sudden you do, and you're on a roll, and it's, as a board game cafe who reviewed it, for point of purchase kind of thing, said it's all about luck. But then again, almost every single board game is about luck, especially when you're rolling the dice. Let's face it, that's just how it is. You either win, you lose, you come to a draw, whatever it happens to be. Okay, I think we're ready to color this bastard. So this way, I can go back to what I was doing before. Not that I mind spending time with you fine people. I love spending time with you people. It's just, I've given myself so much work to do. What the hell is wrong with me? No qualms about that, Dr. Banner, right? Right. Glad we can agree on something. Now, those of you who work as graphic designers may appreciate a Twitter account by the name of Pre-Press Hulk. It is hysterical. If you don't work in printing, then you won't get most of the jokes, which is fine, but let me tell you something. I laugh so effing hard every time I go on there. The guy who runs it, I have no idea who he is. He hasn't posted a lot lately, and I'm hoping he's gonna keep posting because his stuff is great. But, you know, I'm like anything else. some things you do after a while, I mean, you either get bored of it, or there just isn't really much left to say. Like, I mean, you've done everything you can with the material, and then it's just time to move on. I hope things never get like that with Lucky Zilla, but, well, you know. I just published the 200th Lucky Strip, so, yeah, you know, anything is possible. I wouldn't rule out anything reasonable. But at the same time, you know, I'll keep doing it as long as I enjoy it. As long as I enjoy it, I'll keep doing it. I'll try to add some shading in here, I swear. You know, this will look kind of bland otherwise. If what I'm doing looks weird, that's fine, because I'm going to add some kind of effect to it. Just a little bit. I'm trying to do more shading in my work, but man, is it a pain. Man, is it a pain. But, you know, one thing I will not complain about in attempting this is that this is a live show. It's not like, you know, I would have to go back and edit this or anything until I think it's right. You know, I'm doing this raw. Try something else, which I've seen some people do before. I don't know if this is necessarily gonna work for what I'm doing, but, you know. Maybe this won't work the way I want it to, but... Otherwise, I'm going to leave it with my original shading and just call it a night here. Okay. That's not bad. Although... There we go. This way he doesn't look like a friggin' balloon. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the praise. I think if I give him anything else, or too much more, it's gonna look like he's wearing a hula skirt. Hulk, not hula. At least as far as I can tell. I think I got everything that I wanted. So, yeah. Let me just sign, I might be one of the only working artists to undo their signature. But then again, when you work digitally, you can do stuff like that. So, I'll let you gaze at this for a few seconds. Oh, sweet. Hi, Ian. Unfortunately, this is the end of the show. But, you'll be able to go back and watch it in just a little bit. But it's been a fun episode. I had a lot more fun with this than I thought I was going to because I'm in such a rush with a lot that's going on, most of which is LuckyZilla, because unfortunately I had to cancel one of my other ventures that I launched this year. And that was Raphael Not a Ninja, which is really on a hiatus. I mean, I would love to get that going again, but the logistics of which, you know, aren't really feasible, being that I'm one artist, a one-man company, and I do just about all the work. And occasionally I'll bring in another writer, or like the 200th Lucky strip, 12 other artists. Long story on how that happened, and I don't feel like telling it now. But it's amazing that they all participated and it ended up being as good as it was. But I had faith in them. You know, they did a marvelous job, all of them. So, let me see, let me check my schedule. I'm not sure if there's going to be a Drezen Draws next week, only because LuckyZilla number 13 is a big priority right now, and half of the book is colored, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's halfway done or even 75% done, because once you're in the coloring stage, it's like you're just about there, man. But there's also some effects that need to be done, backgrounds that need to be added, and the text from the script needs to be imported and properly placed, and that takes time. I'm not sure if I will be back next week, but if I am, the next episode is going to have to do with hosts. So I will leave you with that, and I will bid you good night.